Test. Live with high button for the flames. All right, everyone, welcome to Game 5 of the Flames and the Kraken. Final game of the series. Somebody's going to go home a winner here today. I'll fix my scoreboard here in a second as soon as there's a stoppage of play. It didn't take my reset to the first period, so I'll update the clock here in a second. Flames winners yesterday down at the Qplex to force Game 5 here at the Grant Harvey Center at the 11 o'clock. That feels like a 10 o'clock. Here's Feltmate from the point through traffic, hits skates, tied up in front. Doolan centers it again. Here's Feltmate. Feltmate shot. Backhand by Lawrence. Doesn't make its way through. Below the goal line. Feltmate tries to hold it at the blue line. She can't. Comes out. Here's Boursier. Boursier up through the middle. She dumps it in. Played by Chasson. Chasson with, I think, somewhere around 30-plus saves yesterday. Here comes Bex. She's directed off to the corner. Nagier, cross-ice pass. Shot attempt is blocked by Nelson. Here comes Dickey. Dickey gains the blue line. Rubbed off the puck. Makes its way to the neutral zone. Here's Nelson. Nelson tries chipping it ahead. She's going to head to the bench. Little's going to recover it. Little up through the neutral zone. Johnstone tries chipping it ahead. Doesn't get there. Dumped into the flame zone. Waterhouse below the goal line. Wraps it around the left-hand side. Here's Smith. Smith. She's rubbed off at the red line. Back check by Sommers. Sommers below the goal line. Sent into the neutral zone. Almost 3 minutes gone here without a whistle. Good pace to start the game. As my colleague Jake said yesterday at the Qplex, it is loud. It kind of turned into a thing to have the crowd roaring against each other. All right, let's get this clock set right. All right, we have it set to the first. I will get the time adjusted here as soon as I can. That one is blown down. We're gonna have a whistle. All right, let's get this clock set up. 16:51 is the time on the clock. There we go. All right, our clock is now back in proper time. Sorry about that. But yeah, so after the first couple games here at the Grant Harvey Center, the St. John crowd brought some noise, some reinforcements. I'm not sure, but it kind of turned into a thing where both sets of parents have brought horns and noisemakers and really created a loud atmosphere at all the games in this series. Here's Daigle. Daigle up through the neutral zone, hits Lawrence. Here's Nelson. Nelson in close. She takes a shot. That's directed off to the corner by Chasson. Lawrence tries fishing it back to the blue line. Daigle shot, directed off to the corner. Wrapped up the right-hand side. Going to be held in. Nope. Daigle can't hang on to it, so Daigle's going to be back. She shovels it up the left-hand side. Doolan hits Lawrence, so it won't be icing. It's going to make its way to the corner. Picked up by Boutelier. Wrapped around the side. Into the neutral zone. Skips past Boursier. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc in the neutral zone. She loses a handle on it. Pushed ahead. That's going to be offside. Bex just over the blue line. She couldn't step back out. That one sent in. Yeomans is going to hang on to that one. Looks like it took a funny bounce, but she hangs on. And there'll be a face-off to the right of Yeomans. Just under 5 minutes gone here in the first period. Shots on goal are 3-1 in favor of the Flames so far. Puck into the Kraken zone. Played by Legier. Sent into the neutral zone by Wilcox. She heads off to the bench. Here's Dickey. Dickey couldn't move it forward. That's taken away by Cook. Cook backhands it in to the Kraken end. Boutelier is going to pick it up behind the Kraken goal. Sent up through the middle. Play's broken up. Here's Kimball. Kimball, she throws it in. Chasson's going to play that behind the net. Boutelier again up the right-hand side to Dickey. Dickey, she's knocked off the puck. Here's Dooland. To Daigle. Daigle, big shot. That one's gobbled up by Chasson. That's the fourth shot on goal by the Flames so far. One for the Kraken. Pass to Lawrence. Misses the target. Coming up the left-hand side here to Bex. In the neutral zone. Gilliland just dumps it in. And that one's going to go for icing at 13:54 of the first period. So a couple games in the league yesterday. Cape Breton Lynx, who upset the Lindsay Surge, started their series against the Selects. And they got beat up a little bit, 9-1 at the Hector Arena. Hallie Rose McLean hat trick. I think she had that hat trick in the first period, possibly. Oh, no. Nope. Her third goal was in the second period, but Hallie Rose McLean with 3. And the Western Wolves started their series against the Stars. And the Wolves, also probably a bit of a surprise, won that first game 1-0. Single goal by Thomas in the second period. Puck in the Flame zone. Here's Daigle. Daigle, she's going to keep it. Makes her way over the blue line. Stays on side. We have an arm up for a penalty. Here's Bex. Bex all alone and on Yeomans. And she's sent off to the corner. And both referees have an arm up. We have a trip. Against Captain Folks. So the Flames will be on the penalty kill here for 2 minutes or less. Captain Folks in the box for a trip. Captain Folks, the only goal scorer yesterday in the 1-0 game. Down at the Q-Plex. And we are here in Game 5. Winner will go on to face the Rockets. Here's Nelson. Nelson couldn't quite break away from Duguay for the shorty attempt. Puck into the neutral zone. Chopped back up. Still in the neutral zone. Here come the Kraken. Here's Duguay. Duguay tries to gain the blue line herself. Chipped up high in the air. Contested puck. Sent to the corner. Kimball's going to be there first. She's pinned along the wall. Borsier's there to help out. Sends it up the left-hand side. That's going to make its way out of the zone. Gilliland in the neutral zone. Gilliland drops it off for Marshall. Marshall heads to the bench for a change. Sends it up. It's going to make its way down. Borsier's going to recover it. Borsier sends it all the way down. 46 seconds left in the Flames penalty kill. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc puts the brakes on the blue line. Sends it up to Somerville. Somerville. She's going to shovel it into the Flames' end. Recovered by Daigle. Daigle will send that the length of the ice. Here comes Cook. Cook and Chason race for the puck. Chason gets there first and chips it out. Now Ricketson in the neutral zone. She gains the blue line. Gets over. Sommers is going to get it out. We're down to 7 seconds left on the Kraken power play. Here's 20, which is Hannah Coleman. No name on the jersey, but I believe I got that last game here. And we are back to even strength. No score here in the first period. Shots on goal, 4-2 in favor of the Flames. And we are exactly halfway through the first period. Game 5 of the best of 5. Play broken up by Doolan, but she doesn't get it pushed forward. Here's Waterhouse, skips over her stick. Now Dickey moves it into the Flames' end. Sent back down. Duguay. Duguay's peeled off the puck by Doolan. Doolan tries dangling into the middle. She doesn't get very far. Here's Duguay. Duguay shovels it in to the Flames' end. Kimball's going to put the brakes on behind the net. Cross ice pass attempt. That's going to hit the mesh. And we'll have ourselves a whistle. And we are at 9:16 of the first period. No score here at Grant Harvey Center. And like my colleague Jake said yesterday, hopefully you can hear me okay over the noise in here. Between the noisemakers and the music, it's loud in here. Duguay, she's going to toss it into the Flames' end, recovered by Kimball. She sends out the left-hand side to Dooland. Dooland tries centering it to Nelson, doesn't hit the target. And the Kraken are back in possession. Back on Kimball's stick. Over to Boursier. Boursier up the middle to Nelson. Now Dooland has it. Dooland throws it towards the net. All the Flames heading to the bench for a change. Lawrence in to put pressure on by herself. Johnstone and Smith and Lawrence out here. The combination now. Feltmate and Daigle on the blue line. Lawrence in the neutral zone, tries pushing it forward, doesn't get much on it. Now Johnstone has it, pushes it over the blue line, but that's not going to get very far. Gilliland pushes it into the neutral zone. Here's Gilliland. She picks it up again. Gilliland's by herself. Daigle will take that one away. Fast-moving period here. Down to 8 minutes here in the first period already. Only a couple of whistles. And we have another one. Yeomans will hang on to that one. At 7:49 of the first period. Shots on goal are 5-3 for the Flames. Somebody here looking to punch their ticket to play against the Rockets. Soft one on Yeomans. She'll hang on to that one, and we'll take that face off again. 7:42, first period, no score. It'll be Captain Folks facing off against LeBlanc. Contested draw, lost in feet. Finally sent back to Legier. Legier looking for a path. She takes a shot, hits bodies. Here's Polchis. Polchis gets in the neutral zone. Here's Folks. Folks comes across to Doolin. No, sorry, Cook. Cook takes a shot, hits shin pads, and ends up in the corner. That one's going to go the length of the ice. Arms up for icing. That should be called. And at the 7:12 mark, we will have a face-off back in the Kraken end this time. Shots on goal, 5-4 in favor of the Flames. No score. Game 5. Face-off to the left of Chasson. She's got her helmet off, adjusting something. Are they going to toss out? Nope, they're not going to toss out the center. Face-off won by the Kraken. Centering pass. Here comes Dickey. Dickey through the neutral zone. That's going to be another call against Daigle. Body contact. She did get in her space. The threshold for contact, sometimes variable here. So we have another Kraken power play, second of the period. Flames killed off the first one when Folks was in the box. Now Daigle in the box for buddy contact. Kraken working on the power play. Shot! Scores! And I think it was Duguay. Duguay from the point scores on the power play. That went top shelf. 6:45 in the first. And the Kraken have the lead. Kraken fans extraordinarily loud here. So it was Duguay with the goal. And Boutelier with the assist. So Duguay from Boutelier at 6:45 of the first period. And the Kraken are up here 1-0. Shots on goal 6-5 in favor of the Flames at the moment. Goals very stingy and hard to come by, especially against Chasson in this series. Flames need to work from behind here. 5:45. First period, puck pinned along the wall. Refs calling for it to move. Finally knocked out by Duguay. Duguay wraps it around the wall. Back to Duguay. Duguay looking up the left-hand side to Ricketson. Doesn't get there. Picked off by Lawrence. Lawrence moves in tight. And now we're going to have another penalty. We have a cross-check. And now we'll have a Flames power play. LeBlanc headed to the box for a cross-check. We will have Folks, Polchis, and Cook for the Flames. Feltmate and Daigle on the blue line. 5:25 left in the first. Flames on their first power play of the game. Kraken have had two power plays, score on the second one. Puck back to Daigle. She keeps it in. Daigle's going to slow it down. Takes a shot from the point. Scores! Possible tip there by Cook. And I believe it is Cook with the tip on the Daigle shot on the power play. Six seconds into the power play. And the Flames even it up. Teams trading power play opportunities here in the first period, and we're notched at 1. Puck into the neutral zone. Race with Daigle. Not too many people are going to win a foot race against her, especially if she has position. Here comes Dooland. Dooland, she's on her knees by herself. Held in the corner by Lawrence. Here's Lawrence, working behind the net. Lawrence looking for an opportunity. She's going to cut back. Sends it below the goal line to Dooland. Dooland in the corner. Back to the blue line for Kimball. Kimball shot through traffic. Doesn't make its way through. Kimball keeps it in. And Ricketson against Kimball. Kimball comes out with it here along the wall. 4 minutes to go here in the first period. Tie, 1-1 game. Shots on goal, 7-5 in favor of the Flames. Each team with a power play goal. Duguay on the power play for the Kraken. And Cook with the tip from the Daigle shot for the Flames. Here, the winner-take-all, Game 5. Here's LeBlanc against Daigle. Daigle wins that one. No arm up on the play. Held in by the Kraken. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone on the left-hand side to Sommers. Sommers working along the boards. Pinned. Johnstone, Sommers trying to knock it out. Still held in by the Kraken. Finally pops into the neutral zone. Johnstone's going to put pressure on it. Here's Duguay. Duguay softly into the corner for Daigle. 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Very quick first period. Only a handful of whistles. Sommers on the left-hand side. Chips it into the neutral zone. Stretch pass through the middle. Misses Bex. Cook dumps it back into the Kraken end. Knocked to the corner by Captain Folks. Folks working below the goal line. She's by herself. Try centering it. Nobody's there. Here's Polchis. Polchis and Bex and Folks fighting for it. Now Mills. Mills wraps it around the left-hand side. Deep pinch by Feltmate. She's going to keep that in. Polchis there to help. Polchis, Folks, Feltmate all pinned along the wall here right in front of me. Finally pops out. It's coming all the way down. Icing signaled. Waved off. Boursier. Here comes Boursier. She sends up the left-hand side for Polchis. Polchis in the neutral zone. She's pinned along the wall. Centers it for Cook. Cook dumps it in. 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Chase on out to play it. Here's Little. Little ships up the wall. That one goes out of play. And we'll have ourselves a whistle with 1:51 left to go. Tie game, 1-1, first period. In Game 5 of the best-of-5 series. Winner of this will go on to face the Moncton Rockets. Shots on goal are 7-5 in favor of the Flames at the moment. Teams exchanging power play goals here in the first period. Kraken had 2 power plays. Flames had 1. Only took 4 seconds in the Flames power play. Daigle throws it on net, tipped in by Cook. The Duguay goal on the power play came pretty quick too. Top shelf shot over the shoulder of Yeomans. Face off in the Kraken zone. One back to Legier. Legier sends up the side. Picks it back up. Chips it ahead. Skips over the stick of Daigle. Puck in the middle. Now it's Dooland. Dooland. One-on-one against Little. Dooland still dealing. Throws it down low. Here's Cook. Cook working along the wall. Centers it for Folks. Folks! Chip in front. Scores! Captain Folks with 57 seconds left in the first. Missed on that first opportunity. Stayed on the puck. And shoved it in. Shots on goal. 9-5 in favor of the Flames here in the first period. Down to 50 seconds left in the first. Flames now working with a 2-1 lead off the Folks goal.
Western Flames goal scored at 57 seconds. Number 18, Rachel Cole.
No assist on the play marked on the score sheet. Cook threw it out from the corner out in front, so I think that should probably be an assist to Cook, but not on the score sheet yet. Johnstone battling along the wall there. She knocks it free. Lawrence comes in and picks it up. Lawrence tries moving it up to Nelson. And that's going to finish the period. And it is 2-1 for the Flames after the first period. Shots on goal 9-5. And I will join you back here for the start of the second period on High Button Sports. All right. Welcome back for the second period. I'm going to hold my voice until after the puck drop because it is so loud in here I cannot even hear myself. Okay, here we go. Underway for the second period. Flames leading 2-1 here in Game 5 of the Best of 5 series between the Kraken and the Flames. Winners will go on to play the Moncton Rocket. Shots on goal, 11-5 after the first period. Kraken goal by Duguay on the power play. Flames goal by Cook on a tip from a Daigle shot on the power play. So exchange power play goals. And then Folks tucked one in, working hard in front of the net late in the period to take the 2-1 lead. And that's where we stand right now. Here's Daigle, shovels it up the left to Doolin. Doolin loses it. Possibly looked like on some wet ice there in the middle. The ice here on the NHL side in the Grant Harvey Center does tend to stay wet. If it's not allowed the time to freeze up. And we'll have a face-off just outside the Flames zone. Nelson wins it back clean to Waterhouse. Waterhouse backhands it behind the net. Shoveled up the right-hand side into the neutral zone. Lawrence is stopped up. Now Nelson. Nelson pushes it forward. That one's blown down offside. And we'll have that face-off over again. Face-off won by the Kraken that time. I think it was Gilliland who took the face-off. Won it back. Here come the Kraken. Through the neutral zone, chipped in, down below the goal line. Waterhouse is pressured. Little issue with the scoreboard here. Or with the clock. There we go. Going the right direction now. 17:45 of the second period here. We'll get that clock squared back up. It was in count up mode instead of count down mode. Little pushes it into the Flames corner. She's pressured by Daigle. Back to the point. Little's going to pinch, keep it in. Now on the stick of Sommers. Sommers in the neutral zone. She's going to backhand it down to the corner. Little's there first, pressured by Johnstone and Sommers. Little comes out with it. Sends it up her left-hand side. Knocked off the puck by Eason. Eason heads to the bench. She's replaced by Cook. Bex in the corner. She comes out with it. Johnstone finally knocks it off. Here's Cook. Held in by Boulier. Sharp angle shot. It's deflected off to the corner. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the second period. Flames leading 2-1. Clock's back in sync. And we have a goal by the Kraken. Ricketson, I believe. Ricketson from the point. Tucks one in. And we are back to square here, 2-2. So 16-16. Penalty coming to the Kraken. No. Yes. Should be Kraken for body contact here. And Legier headed to the box for a body contact. So the Flames back on a power play here at the 16-minute mark of the second period. 2-2 game. Shots on goal, 11-7 in favor of the Flames. Face off in the Kraken end. It'll be Lawrenson to take it. She wins it back. Comes cross ice to Boursier. Boursier walking the line. She's going to throw it down deep. Nelson's rubbed off. Doolin's there to help. Dooland over to Boursier. Boursier throws it through traffic just high over the net. Held into the blue line? No, not quite. Lawrence in the neutral zone. She's pressured by Gilliland. She drops it off. Broken free. Steps in. Held off to the side. Waterhouse. That one's finally gobbled up by Yeomans, and with 1:18 left on the Flames power play. Face off in the Flame zone. Here comes Cook. Cook sends up the left-hand side that gets past Polchis. Going the length of the ice, and the Flames will be called for icing on the power play. Face off again, back in the Flame zone. Won by the Kraken. Shot that misses wide right.
Fundy Kraken penalty at 6:08. Number 19,
And we have a penalty to Bex for tripping. Flames gonna have 5-on-3 for 56 seconds at the 15-minute mark here of the second period. Tie game, 2-2 in game 5 of this best-of-5 series. Folkson to take the face-off. She wins it over to Polchis. Polchis back to Daigle. Daigle looking. She fires it towards the net. Cook tips it, but off to the corner. Held in. Here's Daigle. Daigle. She goes across to Feltmate. Feltmate walks in. Feltmate takes a shot. That one's going to make its way out of the zone. 30 seconds left in the two-player advantage. Chipped off the boards. Sent back to the Flame zone.
Fundy Kraken penalty at 15:04. Number 26, tied
Beck's in the box for tripping. Here comes Daigle. Daigle's going to gain the blue line by herself. Put the brakes on. Drops it off for Easton. Easton's taken down. Scramble in front. Sent down again. Yeomans will play that one. Yeomans dumps it off for Feltmate. And it is now 5-on-4. Flames still have a minute of power play to work with here. Feltmate through the neutral zone. Dumps it down. Played by Chason. Drops it behind the net. That's going to make its way into the neutral zone again. Picked up by Boursier. Boursier, cross ice to Waterhouse. She's knocked off the puck by Boutelier. 30 seconds now left in the Flames power play. Here comes Lawrence. Lawrence gains the blue line herself. Carries it in, puts the brakes on, sends it back to Boursier. Boursier, cross ice. Shot by Waterhouse. Loose in front. Shot misses off to the left. 10 seconds now left in the Flames power play. Dropped off for Doolin. Doolin takes a shot. Blockered off to the corner. Doolin. She's knocked down. No arm on that one. Now Nelson. Nelson and Doolin below the goal line. Lawrence comes in to pick it up. Lawrence holds it along the wall. Dishes it off in the corner. Sent back to Daigle. Daigle steps up. Shot that misses wide left. Now Waterhouse on the right-hand side. Shovels it into the corner. Picked up by Nelson. Nelson back to the blue line for Waterhouse. Waterhouse tries throwing it towards the net. Doesn't make its way through all the bodies. Lawrence throws it towards the net. Chasson. She will cover that one up. And we are back to even strength at the 12:29 mark of the second period. Tie 2-2. Shots on goal are 12-8 in favor of the Flames at the moment. Puck around the boards. Kimball throws it back into the Kraken corner. Ricketson tries chipping it out. It's held in. Shot attempt. Kind of squibbled off to the corner there. Comes back to the point. Here's Kimball. Kimball backhands it into the traffic. Scramble in front. Knocked free. Back into the neutral zone. Daigle's going to be there first. She sends up the left-hand side to Sommers. Sommers. She's knocked off by Mills. Flames will regroup. Here's Kimball. Kimball below the Flames goal. Sends it up to Daigle. Daigle. She's got Sommers. Throws it towards the net. Daigle heads to the bench for a change. Here comes Boursier and Feltmate. Puck. Down below the Flames goal line. There's Captain Folks. Folks chips it up the right-hand side for Cook. Cook gains the blue line. She walks in, tries to take a shot. That's softly knocked off to the corner. Cook and Folks. And Polchi's working on it here. Somerville sends it around behind the net. Dickey's there. Dickey tries pushing it forward. She's blocked. Duguay. Try sending it up the right-hand side. That one's held back in. Here's Dickey again. Dickey on the left-hand side. She tries centering it. Picked off by Nelson. Flames stay on side just barely. Dooland gets it over the line. Picked up by Duguay again. Duguay, she's by herself. She's got Somerville on the right-hand side, but she's headed to the bench for a change. Here comes Becks and Mills for the Kraken. And we are approaching the halfway mark here of the second period. Tie game. Here comes Dooland. One-on-one against Boutelier. Dooland takes a shot. Directed off to the corner. And the Kraken are coming back again. Johnstone tries knocking it in the neutral zone. She's knocked off the block. Here comes Daigle. Daigle, one-on-one. Pulls it onto her inside. Backhand. And that is held on to by Chasson. And we have gone past the halfway mark of this game. 9:55, second period. 2-2 game. Face off to the left of Chasson. Johnstone in to take it for the Flames. One back to Waterhouse. Waterhouse shot from the point. Misses wide left. Sommers behind the net. She's taken down. That's going to be a tripping call. And the Flames will go back on the power play at the 9:47 mark of the second period. Shots on goal are 15-8 in favor of the Flames. We're going to have a face-off here in the Kraken zone, so it's little for tripping. It'll be LeBlanc to take the face-off against Folks. It's tied up in feet, fished out. Back to Feltmate. Feltmate to Daigle. Daigle. Down the left side to Polchis. Polchis fires through traffic. Scores! Polchis on the power play from Daigle and Feltmate. And the Flames are back on top 3-2. 9:34 the second period. And the Flames are back in the lead. In a series where goals have been very stingy. 3-2. Kind of sounds like wide open based off how some of the other games have gone. 15-8 the shots in favor of the Flames, according to the scoreboard. 9:18 to go here in the second period. Flames now on top, 3-2. 2 power play goals for the Flames, 1 power play goal for the Kraken. Here's Marshall. Working below the goal line, sends up the left-hand side for Dickey. No, sorry, Duguay. Duguay shovels it down. Icing is signaled, and it will come back to the Kraken end for a face-off. So in the Kraken end, it will be Lawrence against, can't see, it is Mills. Mills wins the face-off clean to the corner.
Western Flames goal at 9:34, scored by number
Contested.
10, Polsky, assisted by number 16, Audrey Daigle, and number 11, Riley Feltmate.
So the goal indeed was Polchis from Daigle and Feltmate. Got that one right. Shot by Lawrence. Gloved up by Chasson. Who by this point has probably made somewhere near 1,200 saves, I think was the number. It was late in the season. I saw the social media post go by that she had made over 1,000 saves on the season. And that was definitely with a few games to go. Plus this series. And there have been shots heavy. So she's certainly past 1,100 for sure by now. Maybe even higher. Sees a lot of pucks, that's for sure. Puck backhanded down the ice. Icing signaled. And that one will come back to the Flames end. At the 7:52 mark here of the second period, Flames leading 3-2 on 16 shots to 9. Face off to the right of Yeomans. It'll be Mills and Lawrence. Won by Mills. Clean back. Shot from the point. Yeomans will hang on to that and we'll do it again. Change for the Flames. Polchis cooking Folks. Folks in to take that face off. Knocked free. Polchis way up behind everybody. Not the first time she's done that. Sends it from the sharp angle. Chasson knocks it out in front. Polchis often sneaky. Not the first time this season that she's found herself behind all the defense for a puck that's going up the ice. Puck into the neutral zone. Knocked back into the Kraken end. Flames need to tag up. Set into the corner. Picked up by Boursier. Here comes Boursier. She's going to exit the zone herself and chip it ahead. That one makes its way out of play. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off just outside the Flames blue line at 6:48 of the second period. Flames working with a 3-2 lead on 17 shots to 10. 2 power play goals to Kraken's 1 power play goal. Little sends it into the Flames end. Kimball tries sending it up the right-hand side. Didn't get much on it. Gets a second attempt. Pushes it ahead. Held in by Bex. Back below the goal line again. This time it's going to be Daigle. Daigle up the left-hand side. Chip ahead attempt by Smith. Doesn't get out. Now Kimball. Kimball's going to try the right-hand side again. To Sommers. To Johnstone. Still held in. Here's LeBlanc. Johnstone tries knocking it free. Sommers against Bex. Flames can't get a handle on it here. Finally get it in the neutral zone by Sommers. Chip ahead by the Kraken to Ricketson. Didn't get past Kimball. And a couple Flames head to the bench for a change. Waterhouse and Boursier step on the blue line here for the Flames. Puck sent down. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse through the neutral zone to Smith. Smith chips it into the zone. And she has the bench for a change. Dooland over the boards. Contested in the neutral zone. Finally sent down below the goal line. Waterhouse going to pick it up for the Flames. Sends it up the left-hand side. Duguay. She's pressured. Knocked off the puck by Nelson. Nelson tried to step inside. Didn't get there. 5-minute mark now. Oh, Lawrence in tight. She tried to shovel it up over the shoulder of Chason, but that goes high over the net. Now it's pinned along the wall. Held in here by Waterhouse. Sorry, no, that's Dooland back there. Covering for Boursier. Feltmate holds the blue line. That one's sent at Yeomans, but pressure by the Kraken. She has to hold on to that one. And we are at 4:26 of the second period. Flames leading 3-2. 18-11. The shots on goal in favor of the Flames. Here in game 5. Somebody's season will end here today. Season will end for someone, and someone else will move on to face the Rockets. Elsewhere in the league, we have the Wolves and the Stars playing off. But I believe that is a somewhat meaningless series as provincials or Atlantics are being hosted in PEI, so regardless of who wins between the Wolves and the Stars, I believe both teams participate in the Atlantics. And then whoever wins this series here today, the winner between Moncton and the winner here today, will participate in the Atlantics from New Brunswick. And in Nova Scotia, the Cape Breton Lynx, who upset the Lindsay Surge, are now facing off against the Subway Selects, who took out the Greenfoot Capitals. Capitals also really pressed the Selects. That was a tight one too. But now it's the Selects and the Lynx, and the Selects came out strong in game 1 of that series yesterday. And lead that series now 1-0. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. Flames working with the 3-2 lead. Puck in the neutral zone. Here's Kimball. Kimball gains the red line. Whoa! That's gonna be an extra one for Sommers. I think they're both gonna go. So Dickey's gonna go. It should be Sommers as well. The question here is it gonna stay even? Sommers, I know you've heard me before. I wear the stripes. I coach, I referee, and I play. I'm gonna guess that Sommers gets extra here. That was after my guess here is that the Kraken come out with a 2-minute power play. It'll be I'm gonna go with 4 to Sommers and 2 to was it Dickey or Little in the box who took the initial one. There is lots of discussion, lots of hollering. So we have a discussion happening here just in front of us with the referees and the coaches. Everybody and some referees in the stands offering opinions as well as to what this call will be. I fully expect the Kraken to come out with a power play here. It's just a matter of did they go with a major and fought? Well, if they went with the major, I believe Sommers would be out of the game. And she's still in the box. So that, until we see it on the scoreboard here, that lends me to believe that it's 4 at most. But there's still nothing up on the scoreboard, so are we staying 5-on-5? And that's kind of what it looks like here. And it will stay 5-on-5. That's not the outcome I expected. I thought the Flames might be... I thought the Flames maybe got 4. And the Kraken 2, but... And the arm up immediately. And the Flames have got teed up. So with 2:21 to go in the second period, on what seemingly the Flames got it kind of escaped without coming out short. Daigle gets teed up, and now they're short-handed here with 2:21 to go. Shot right off the face-off. Yeoman's got the pad out and keeps that one out. Boulier working from the point, moves it down to the left-hand side. Behind the net. Stick on it by Lawrence. Makes its way to the neutral zone. Lawrence and Nelson, your penalty killers, with Feltmate and Borstier. Shot from the point. It's blocked by Lawrence. Tipped in front. Lawrence will hang on to that one. And now another arm up. We have another penalty call. So, 30 seconds into the Flames penalty kill, we have LeBlanc going for, I think slash was the signal. And we are back to 4-on-4 with 1:51 to go here in the second period. With what's been a little bit of penalty roulette, maybe we'll call it. So 4-on-4 for the remaining minute 45 here in the second period. Flames leading 3-2. We'll start the third period 4-on-4. Well, assuming nothing else happens here in the final 90 seconds here of the second period. At which point the Flames will have a brief 30-second power play in the third period in what is an extremely tight game in what has been an extremely tight series with the Flames and the Kraken here. Less than a minute to go here in the second period. Shots on goal 18-16 in favor of the Flames. Kraken really leveled it up here on the shots on goal. Here comes Little. She takes a shot. Hits Kimball. Kimball gets it off into the corner. 40 seconds now left in the period. Kimball pins it along the wall. Another penalty. Okay. I'm not sure who's going for this one. Polchis. So I spoke too soon. And now Polchis heads to the box. And it is 4-on-3 for the Kraken for 35 seconds. And then into the third period, we'll have 4-on-4 for about 30 or 40 seconds. And the Kraken will have a brief power play. We'll go get some WD-40 and grease those penalty box doors between the periods here. They are busy. 8 seconds now left in the period. Puck in the neutral zone. Here comes Gilliland. She's knocked off the puck, and that's going to end the period. And oh boy. We are headed to the third period of this best of five. 3-2 in favor of the Flames, 18-16, the shots on goal. Kraken will start the third period 4-on-4 for 10 seconds and then have about $1.10 on a power play. And I will join you for the start of the third period. right, here we go for the third period. We are 4-on-4. 5 more seconds. And there we go. Kraken power play for 1:10. After what seemed like a pretty steady stream to the penalty box, particularly late in the period there. Flames hanging on to a 3-2 lead here in Game 5 of the best of 5. Winner today goes on to play Moncton. Loser, it's the end of the season. .30 seconds now left in the Flames penalty kill. Kraken power play. 1 minute gone now in the third period. Shots on goal, 18-16 in favor of the Flames. Johnstone battling with Duguay. Johnstone's knocked down. Johnstone tries tucking it in. Sent off to the side. Puck battle at the center red line. Here comes Dickey. Dickey still dealing with it. Dickey, shots blocked. Gilliland tries throwing it at the net. That misses wide left. Down in the corner. Wrapped around the left-hand side. Polchis can't get a stick on it. Waterhouse is pinned. Now Duguay with it again. She's peeled off the puck. Gilliland keeps it in. Waterhouse behind the Flames goal. We're back to even strength. 2 minutes gone here in the third period. 1 goal game in this winner take all. Here's Somerville. Somerville sends it up the left-hand side. Tries chipping in the neutral zone. Picked up by Ricketson. Ricketson dumps it below the goal line in the Flames end. Picked up by Daigle. Daigle sends it up the right. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence tried centering it. She healed that puck and didn't go anywhere. Now Duguay. Duguay in the Kraken end. She's pinned along the wall. Knocked off by Dooland. Coming up the left-hand side. Lawrence is there to pinch it off. Reversed by LeBlanc. LeBlanc tries moving it up to Somerville. Taken away by Lawrence. Lawrence shovels it to the middle. Folks below the goal line. She's got it. Recovered by the Kraken. Walk out front by Polchis. Set back into the neutral zone. Kicks. Cook is going to pick that one up. Cook back to Kimball. Back up the right-hand side to Cook. Contested here in the neutral zone. Boutelier. Little spinorama. Second spin. No call on that. Wilcox throws it towards the net. And Yeomans will hang on to that. Face off to the right of Yeomans. It'll be Johnstone and Gilliland. Gilliland wins it back to Little. Easton gets a stick on it, sends it down the other way. No icing. Somers, Johnstone, Easton out here. Here comes Bex. Pressured by Borsier. Not held in the blue line. Here comes Somers. Somers throws it towards the net. That's going to be directed off to the side. Picked up by Lawrence. Johnstone in the corner. Tries backhanding it out front. Misses the target. Picked up by Bex. Here comes Bex again. Bex again. Dumps it in. 5 minutes gone here in the third period. Flames working with a 3-2 lead in the best of 5 series. Win or go home today. 19-17, the shots on goal in favor of the Flames. Daigle backhands that one in to the Kraken end. Picked up by Duguay. Duguay, she reverses it for Boutelier, I believe. Here's Boutelier. Boutelier gets the red line, dumps it in. She heads to the bench for a change. Gilliland, LeBlanc, Somerville, Marshall over the boards for the Kraken. Puck chipped into the corner. Recovered by Daigle. Daigle up the right-hand side to Lawrence. Lawrence centers it. Dooland kind of loses it in her feet, but Nelson picks it up. Nelson, she's all by herself. Rest of the Flames going for a change. Here comes Polchis and Cook to put pressure on it. Little dishes it off. Set back around below the goal line. Little up the left-hand side to Somerville. Held in. Kraken tried the left-hand side again. Kimball's backing up. That one's knocked off the puck by Sommers and held in. Sorry, that was Folks. And that one is a soft shot on net by Polchis. Chasson will hang on to that. Face off in the Kraken zone. Pops into the neutral zone. Chip back to Kimball. Kimball can't get it out. Legier keeps it in. Flames head to the bench for a change. Cook by herself. Here's Sommers. Feltmate. She sends it softly to the corner. Feltmate tried pinching again. Makes his way out. Somerville knocked off the puck. Boursier battling for it. Now Eason backhands it into the neutral zone. Little will send it into the Flames end, head to the bench for a change. Flames, right hand side. Johnstone chips it into the neutral zone, can't get it out. Back below the goal line. Here's Boursier. Boursier reverses it. Up the right side to Eason. Eason into the neutral zone. Sommers got a stick on it. Lines are calling no ice on that. She touched it before the red line, so that probably shouldn't have been waved off, but it was. Ricketson gets it into the neutral zone. Puck in the Flames corner. Here's Lawrence on the right-hand side. Lawrence cuts to the middle. Lawrence still with it. Lawrence gains the blue line herself, moves it off to her left, takes a shot. Makes his way off to the corner. Dooland and Lawrence in the corner. Oh boy, it's loud in here. Daigle, she's going to chip it in. Chasson directs that off to her right-hand side. Puck just inside the blue line. Here's Wilcox. She gets it into the neutral zone. Now deep in the Flame zone. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse moves up the left-hand side to Daigle. Daigle chips it up. Held in by Bex. Gilliland in the corner. Tries centering it. Broken up. Here's Cook. Cook now for the Flames. She gains the red line. Dumps it down. Polchis. Polchis goes to put pressure on it. And we are approaching the halfway mark of this third period. Flames still working with a 3-2 lead. 19-17 shots on goal showing. I feel like there was a shot or two there that didn't get up on the board, but the board is what the board is. Johnstone putting pressure on that. Johnstone peels it off for Somers. Picked up by Eason. Eason below the goal line. Somers in to help her. Somers comes out with it. Somers looking for an option. She was looking at Kimball. Didn't quite get her. Now it's pinned along the wall. Back into the neutral zone. Here's Boursier. Boursier over the blue line. Brought back out by Boulier. Recovered by Kimball. Kimball for the Flames. Cross ice to Lawrence. Lawrence up through the neutral zone. That's picked off by Boulier. Sent back into the Flames end. Here's Bex. Bex below the Flames goal line. Centers it. Nobody's there. It'll make its way back to the neutral zone for Duguay. Duguay cross ice to Little. Little. She goes cross ice onto the right hand side to Bex. Boursier wraps it around the left-hand side. Dooland is there. She's peeled off the puck. Kimball sends it back the other direction. Bourcier's got to race for it. Boursier and Little moved up the left-hand side. Into the neutral zone. Pop free. Dooland almost knocked it out, but recovered by Bex. We are at the 8:48 mark of the third period. Flames leading 3-2, game 5 of this win or go home series today. Winners, of course, moving on to face the Moncton Rocket. Puck deep in the Flame zone. Daigle going after it with Dickey. Picked up by Feltmate. Feltmate sends it up the left-hand side. Can't get it out. Held in by Boulier. Daigle again behind the goal line. Chips it up the middle this time to Nelson. Makes its way into the neutral zone. That's going to be recovered. Bunch of Flames going for a change. And we are going to have a Kraken power play. I believe we're going to have a trip. On Polchis. So, face off in the Flame zone, 7:54, third period. Kraken power play. Seconds gone in the Kraken power play. Flames regrouping. Sorry, Kraken regrouping. Here's Little. Little gains the blue line. She's pressured by Cook. Still battling along the wall here. Held in. Here's Dickey. Dickey, sharp angle shot. Doesn't make its way through. And that one's sent down by Kimball. 30 seconds gone in the Kraken power play. Puck in the neutral zone. Little picks it up. Little. Nice stretch by Dickey to stay on side there. That one makes its way out. Knocked free by Nelson. Nelson, second attempt, gets the stick on it, sends it down. We are down to 50 seconds left of the Kraken power play here. Here it comes LeBlanc. LeBlanc by herself. Trying to deal with it, puts the brakes on, drops it off for Bex. Bex makes her way to the corner. Feltmate's on her. Bex dishes it off below the goal line. Feltmate gets a stick on it, wraps it around the wall, still held in by the Kraken. 30 seconds left on the Kraken power play. Boulier shot from the point, doesn't make its way through. Now Bex. Bex makes her way Over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, shot. That's blocked. That one's going to be sent down the ice. 15 seconds left in the Flames penalty kill. 6 minutes left in this third period. That one's sent down the ice, and we are back to even strength. 5:50 remaining in the third period. Chasson has to hang on to that one. And we're going to have a face-off in the Kraken end. And boy, it's so loud in here. The horns and the fans and the music, the speakers point right at us here in the media booth at the Grant Harvey Center. And I feel like they had the music extra loud today, on top of all the other horns and stuff. Definitely challenging to hear myself, so doing what we can here. And we are basically at the 5-minute mark now of the third period. Shots on goal, 20-17 in favor of the Flames. Flames working with a 3-2 lead. Winner here, moving on to face the Rockets. Shoveled below the goal line. Here's Nelson. Nelson up the left-hand side. Moves in the neutral zone for Lawrence. Lawrence gets a stick on it, but loses control. Duguay pushes it back into the Flame zone. Kimball has it now. Bex will throw it below the goal line. Boursier has it. Boursier tries moving it up the left-hand side. Doesn't get very far. Boursier reverses for Kimball. Kimball is going to move up the right-hand side for Lawrence. Held in by Boutelier again. Now Nelson. Nelson tries sending it up the left-hand side for Dooland. Makes its way to the neutral zone this time. We're at 4 minutes now. Here's Boursier. She's got a second to set up. Couple of Kraken changing. Boursier, she's going to make it over the red line, dump it in, head to the bench for a change. We have Cook, Folks, Feltmate, Polchis, Daigle. Tries getting it in over the blue line, hits the lines person. Here's Folks. She's shot up by Gilliland. Puck still down below the goal line. Here's Polchis. Now Bex has it pinned along the wall. Knocked free. Into the center for Wilcox. Folks gets a stick on it. Sends it below the goal line. Boutelier will reset. That one's going the length of the ice. Arms up for icing. Nope. Nelson will beat that one out. 3 minutes now left here in the third period. Puck's knocked free. Here goes Dooland. Everyone else caught up. Looked like it might have been a break for Dooland to get free. She doesn't. Loose in the corner. Held on the blue line. Nope, finally comes out. Lawrence is there. Chipped into the zone. Chasson knocks it off to her left. 2:30 left to go. Here comes Dickey working her way into the middle. She's knocked off the puck. Sent into the neutral zone. Duguay goes cross ice. Johnstone gets a stick on it, knocks it all the way down into the Kraken zone. 2:15 left to go. We'll keep an eye on Chasson in the Kraken zone. When is she gonna leave the net? Shot. That rebound goes off to the left of Yeomans. Now Sommers can't get it out. Held in. Here's Waterhouse puts the brakes on, comes back up the left-hand side to Sommers. Sommers can't get it out again. This time makes its way into the neutral zone. Johnstone got it out. Waterhouse on the empty net, scores! 1:37 left in the third period. Flames with the empty netter by Waterhouse. I want to pretend that Johnstone got an assist on that one, but we'll see. .137 left on the clock. Flames leading 4-2 on the empty net goal, 20-18. The shots on goal in favor of the Flames. And now 97 seconds away from being advanced to play the Rockets. Chason, she was way out of the crease. She's heading to the bench. As soon as Waterhouse from Johnstone called it. Chason in the bench again. 1 minute even, and the Kraken score! 1 minute even on the clock. And it is 4-3 with a buck to go. I didn't see who scored it. I'll keep my eye on the score sheet here for a minute. Let's see who gets it. Chason back off the ice onto the bench. Empty net. Puck pinned along the wall. Doolin trying to eat the clock here. Nelson chips off the wall. That's going to be soft. That's not going to be icing. 30 seconds to go here. Kraken net empty. Daigle tries firing it down. That's blocked. 18 seconds to go. Empty net again. Misses. Not icing though. Kraken trying to empty the tank here. 5 seconds to go. And that's going to do it. No icing. And the Flames. And a nail biter. Win 4-3 over the Kraken. 22-19 the shots on goal. So the Flames will move on to play the Moncton Rockets. And I don't know the schedule yet. We'll wait the schedule, and you can join us on High Button Sports for when that series gets underway. I will be doing the games here in Fredericton for the Flames, and the other games will also be on High Button Sports for the Rockets. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us.